Now today we have Sebastian and Tiffany with us today, and we'll be talking about a very interesting topic: how to spot and smell a good opportunity in the location. We must learn how to be able to see out. When we go to some place, we must be able to something is happening, right? And this is what we're looking for essentially, right? Yeah. So when we look at in the past, right, a lot of time, Singapore, the beauty of Singapore is we have a lot of like instruction manual. The government actually has a lot of catalog, like for example the master plan that shows us, hey, you know what they are going to do, and they are very open about it. So when we are able to see what is happening in the location based on past pattern experience, we can be able to identify and know that this place will transform and boom in time to come. And we just sit right in before this period of time. The likelihood is we'll be able to come in and get a quantum leap if we were to invest in this place. However, buying a property is not just about profit, it's also about creating our value. I'm sure the last video we talked about how you guys have walked through your journey and you protected your asset value, your net worth through this, right? So what we want to really talk about is the leading indicator. Of course, as opposed to the leading indicator is really lacking. Like a lot of people when we choose to buy some place where it's established, next to MRT, got bus stop, got school, got shopping mall, and a lot of people go to the place. Of course, these are good indicators. It gives us a lot of assurance, but it may lack that quantum leap that we are pursuing. Right? Of course, these are our own views. I must put disclaimer first. Right? So other than lagging, what do you think is the next is leading already? Yeah, up in your mind, do you have any example of leading indicators so far that we have seen in the past?
I think for my era, I would have seen Sengkang and Punggol Road, where suddenly a lot of my friends start staying in Sengkang and Punggol, and then we see a lot of flats just keep popping up. And then you have ECs coming, and then there are condos coming in after that. So definitely these two areas, and then Tampines as well. And then Tampines expanding bigger and bigger. Yeah, some you have Tampines like east, west, everywhere. Yeah.
Correct. So imagine you buy into this place before you even come live. I remember last time when I went to Hougang, one of the block, from Hougang you can see the entire Punggol. Now Punggol is another story of its own already. So speaking about Punggol, we talk about District 19. And where did the opportunity crunch come in 2019? That was really around the 2017-18 period. Now, to look at growth factors, there's a few things we look at. First of all, there must be jobs being created in this place, right? A cultural environment where people want to come and stay, right? So first of all, you have jobs being created. After you have jobs, there's culture, there's parks, there are different shopping centers, and of course, importantly, schools and hospitals, infrastructure being built. Then this is where people will be interested to start to come into this location to work. And as they work here, they will locally migrate into this place. And of course, these jobs will also attract a lot of foreign talent. And when they land in Singapore, naturally, they want to be staying near their job workplace, right? And apart from that, the other very important factor is population. So along with Singapore plans for population growth, increment, right? These towns are catered and built so that jobs, people can settle down well in Singapore, and thus eventually it boosts our economy.
So you think District 23 has potentially all these factors those leading factors that will actually help to boost the property values in time to come?
It has followed a very similar pattern as how it was back in 2010 when Punggol and Sengkang was still built. I remember back then, in my era, all those who got married moved into that place. We are all from different parts of Singapore, but the whole world suddenly is there. And that created a lot of volume. Right? And essentially what happened was, the HDB was first introduced, then shortly after, the condo came. By the time the HDB MOP, the condos were ready to sell. And this MOP becomes an engine that churn out a lot of condo upgraders. And that kind of fit into the journey where prices escalate. And today we have seen very strong numbers. We're going to look at them more in a short while. Yeah, so should we get into the slides? Right. So in 2019, along the Punggol area, so you need to understand that in District 19 is closely knitted with District 27, 28. Interestingly, this is what we see as well. So today we see there was a creation of the Oval and Seletar Road space. We have the Digital Hub and SUTD and SIT. Right. I just went to the SUTD Punggol Coast. In Singapore, there's still a place I never go to before. I drive into the place, I see Ting Wai Fort, I see the shopping centre, and this mall is connected to SUTD.
Yes, we actually visit there very often now.
And there's a new MRT station there.
So when we look at this place like that, immediately this came to me. Hey, this is the place that they were talking about back in 2014, 2015, but we couldn't visualize it.
Yeah.
But had anyone bought a property and saw that property, back then, if you Google Punggol 17th Avenue, back then it was super ulu. Remember, I had a listing in a unit, then after that, what happens? At the back, totally clear like now, and it becomes this Punggol coast now. Right, and then we have the Lorong Halus in Industrial Park, we have Obel, we have Bidadari Rejuvenation, right, Erfu Industry Park, Paya Lebar Centre, and Lorong, all this coming into the same place where there is the purple line, the conduit towards the northeast. And eventually what happened? Property started launching there, right? During that period of time, we had all 6 developments all launching at the same time. I still remember during the time where Riverfront, Affinity, Florence, and Gardens Residences is not even here, was not. Everybody was asking me, really, it's oversupply. Right? Is the price too high? Back then in 2017, 5,000, 6,000 was a record in that market, because everybody was used to 1,000, 2,003. Suddenly, new price benchmark, and there is 4,000, 5,000 over units of new launch coming into that space. So this cycle, it repeats and repeats. Today when we look back in District Map 23, a lot of people also will be questioning, there's so many 5-6 new launch coming in the same place, that would there be an oversupply? But the question is, why is, because all these land come from GRS, so if we look back, why did the government introduce so much supply into this place? There must be a running order of supply that they are expecting. So this is where we can understand a bit better. Today we see, those launches that started in 2019, Florence Residence. I remember during the launch I was there, we were there, and only less than 100 units were sold out of 1,008 units. Right, this was the era of mega project. We have Treasures, we have Affinity, we have Park Esta, all coming into the market at once. And this, for all, Florence only sold 100, because they share the equal concern of the market today. Is there an oversupply? But look at what happens. Every unit, every development in the location, whether it's freehold near MRT, not near MRT, saw a gain. Right? We should not, of course, some of them saw a better gain than the others. Right? But this is another topic, how to spot development so that we are able to enter with a bigger exit, with a bigger gain. This is definitely another video we'll be creating soon. But speaking of which, did this concern materialize? Back then there was an oversupply. So coming back to that era, just slightly before, this is my favorite place, District 28. Back then when Park Botania and High Park was launched, it was condo literally selling at the EC price. Right? And there was also, people say, hey, ulu don't have anything there, no infrastructure. Sengkang to Sengkang, Seletar not Seletar, it's just a new place, Fernvale. Who heard of Fernvale?
Only got Prata and
yeah, and got a very big temple there. Right, but today, if we look at what happens, those early adopters, in fact, for High Park residents, right, the bigger units actually they also profit up to 1 million, right, easily, right. But did these buyers see the possibility when they enter?
Definitely there's fear, I'm sure.
Also have fear. They also probably have to buy because this is what they could afford already.
Yeah, especially so when the area has no past results to look at, right?
No CMA.
Yeah, no CMA. So you also don't know what's the right entry price matter as well.
Very hard to determine. But they took a leap of faith, and today, this 4-bedder, 5-bedder owner is for the biggest gain. Even the 3-2-bedder also saw to gain in this
I
area.
think what contributes to their bravery or courage to enter the market is also what Jason mentioned just now, so the leading factors that helps to give them the confidence to enter. Yeah.
So today in 2025, where is the leading factor going to be? This is a question we have to ask ourselves, right? Because if you want to buy right and want to buy safe, then we can, of course there are still a lot of possibilities out there, in mature estate, but why not consider an opportunity? Because these launches that's coming into these spaces is going to come in at low land price. So meaning to say you still can find good deals as they launch. Can you imagine today, 3-bedder average how much in the market new launch? 2.1, 2.2, right? So you will still be able to see 3-bedder coming at how much? 1.6, 1.7?
1.6.
Yeah.
Starting from.
What about the 2-bedders?
2-bedder starting from 1.1.
1.1 and 1.1, 1.2 2-bedder in today's market, harmonize some more, right?
Very long never hear this kind of prices.
Yeah. So essentially, this is what's going to come into the market. So again, we need to establish District factor coming into this space: jobs, cultural environment, and BPO supply. When we look at District 23, we cannot discount the fact of this Tengah New Town. So when we look at Tengah New Town, it's actually located right smack in between Sungai Gedok into to Choa Chu Kang, Bukit Panjang, Jurong Lake District, in fact to Boon Lay and JIV. So referencing back to the past, it feels like the Punggol today, where it's connected, it next to Pasir Ris, next to Seletar, right in front of Sengkang, is in the conduit of the Northeast Line, right? So, but what does it mean to us? Meaning to say, right where Tengah is, okay, in time to come, it has a connection to the Jurong Lake District. Now, Jurong Lake District is already a development of the transformation that is already in phase 2 today already, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be the second CBD. Very likely, if there is any HSR, so I quote myself, okay, I think, right, if the HSR were to happen, I suspect it will come into this place. Okay, this is the only viable connection. If they were to come through from Tuas down into Jurong, they cannot be coming through Woodlands because we got RTS already, right? Then we have the Jurong Innovation District. So again, this is another huge district, huge project by the government. And finally, last year the government also announced about the Sungai Gedok industry plans. So for one thing, in this location, what's going to happen is jobs will come into this location, right?
Yeah.
Alongside, if we look back into the Tengah town, it's built to be car-like, built to be beautiful, right, with cultural establishment in this location, right? And do you all know what school is going to come to Tengah?
ACS.
ACS, right? I think they're also considering to move there because ACS alumni, right? Yeah. So even school is coming into this, right? So it's actually create a lot of growth. Why would ACS do a co-ed school and study in Tengah, right? Do you all remember back in Sengkang, which school went to Sengkang? Nanqiao, right? So this is already a proven strategy. So basically, when we look at today, we really see a lot of BTOs springing up in the towns next to Tengah already, in the whole of District 23. And when did this BTO TOP?
2024 to
During the 2024-25, right?
Yeah.
And even the earliest 2024, these BTOs, TOP owners, when can they graduate out of their flat? When will their uni hit MOP?
2030.
29, 30, 31. So meaning to say in 2026, if you enter in this location, buying a new launch, harmonized under the market value, when you want to sell, when do you sell?
2030.
Yeah. So will you be in time for the BTO upgrader where the next peak of MOP upgrader will appear?
Just nice.
This is timing market. A lot of people, timing the market is not about calculating, looking at the stars and the sky to see when are the numbers, when are the supply coming. It's really about understanding and knowing when demand surge will happen in the location. In this location, the next one that's going to come to life, right, is probably going to be the Narra Residences, and we'll have Tiffany to tell us a bit more about this.
Okay, so we can look at what's good in Narra. Just a little bit more about the location. This is definitely somewhere, just look at this map. Half of it is greenery and nature. So this tells you a lot about the location and the area that you'll be staying in. District 23 definitely known for the Chestnut Nature Park and the railway, old railway station that we have. Yeah, so the rail mall.
Along the Fort Factory, right?
Yes. So when you think about dairy farm walk, what do you comes to mind?
Dairy farm, cows. No. Okay. Well, it's a new development, new cluster lah. A bit like the Landor, right? And it seems like there's more process coming into the location.
A lot of nature, because we are quite close to the reservoir, the reservoir.
Yeah, I would say it's slightly similar to Lentor because there's also like a landed estate over there. Yeah, I personally really love the nature parks there. It's really nice. Weekends you see a lot of people hiking, running, and then dirt biking over there.
Yeah, so like Lentor, it's an upcoming new town with lots of active of land coming out.
Yes.
So this area potentially might follow suit the performance of how Lentor is doing at this point in time.
But Landor got MRT though. This place seems to be short of it.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
not
very
even
good
bus.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but actually, it's the factor of MRT. As we have seen from the District 19 examples, those that are further from the MRT actually make more money.
Correct. Yeah. So this is the wonderful thing about Singapore.
Not just the location itself. So sometimes it also can be something of like other factors like pricing, entry price, all this. That determines how much you can sell this time.
Further away means you can buy cheaper lah. Then buy cheaper that means
buy bigger.
correct lor.
Yeah.
Buy bigger means more profit lor.
Profit, yeah. So we feel like dairy farm definitely is some place that is being overshined by other areas. It's not the first place that you would think about unless you grew up somewhere nearby. So I think it's a place that is worth looking into, doing some research, because definitely there's some money that can be made there right now. So this is the mock-up of how the unit the block is going to look like. You can see you have 3 different heights. So the lowest one is about 6 story, and then you have the 13th floor and the 16th floor. So this cascading kind of landscape is actually quite unique in Singapore. Yeah, if you drive around, usually you just like 4 to 6 towers around the same height, built to the maximum.
Very interesting concept, especially cascading and then overlooking the nature reserve. So I can imagine the higher floor units, the kind of view that they will
Yeah, so other than views, I would say Singapore, honestly, you won't get very terrible views. Everybody get more or less the same. Of course, some like sea view, some like nature view, but more or less, everybody's view is quite nice. But the best thing about this kind of cascading, I feel, is definitely the light and the wind flow. So just imagine the wind that will be able to come into every block, not only from the side, but also from the front. Yeah, and other than that, being cascading means you see more sky. Every unit sees more sky. So more sky means more light. So actually in Singapore, we do have some similar concept projects going on. For example, not sure if you have seen this. This is actually in the CBD. This is Marina One Residences. So the front you actually have your houses, and then you have the offices at the back. Same thing, you can see they created a lot of opening area. Mainly is for the light and the wind to come in.
Actually, we have personally been into Marina One before. At the heart of the center of the development itself, we can really feel the wind coming into that area.
Yeah. They call this the hut inside.
Yeah.
And then another one that's also near Bukit Timah, you have Reserve Residences. Very, very nice cascading concept here, then the different tier heights of blocks. This is in Lentor. You also have a different height cascading and then different concept kind of building. So same thing for Lentor, this one, right? Actually, they'll be surrounded by different other new projects. There is a Lentor Park here, but then surrounding is actually different projects. So when you're surrounded by other projects, and then your particular project has this different kind of feature, when the whole area is fully built up, I think it will stand out. Like people will remember, this one is like that one, different. Okay, so let's talk a bit about the area. What do you have there right now? So this is the master plan of Dairy Farm Walk area. So you can see right now the most popular projects right there that you will usually hear of is Forest, Eco Century, and you have your Tree House. So these 3 projects actually they TOP around the same timing, and I think this is a really good get time for you to enter versus the resale units because they will by then be a little bit old already, they'll be a bit aged while you are the new product. So when people come in, the difference will be very big, be it based on maintenance, efficiency of floor plan, all that.
Yeah, we feel that even though they are there, right, adding to the supply of the area, but we feel that they may not add much to the competition when you want to sell in time to come, because of the age of the projects.
You know what I think? Actually, these 2 projects we're talking about, these pre-2018 projects, right? These are the projects with very weird shaped balcony, right? Correct. So in these units, the harmonized floor plan coming into this place, it's going to bring light into the area. And if we are today staying in one of these projects, you might want to consider selling it and move it to the new harmonized. Because the moment this project, even when we talk about non-harmonized botany that's going to come into this market, what will happen is they're going to look very good, right? And especially the harmonized one, smaller floor plate, but what they have is actually a very concise use of space. We've seen the floor plan, and I think it's very well done, right?
So then right nearby, you have your Dairy Farm Residences, you have the shopping mall right below, so you have some like NTUC, Coffee Bean, all that right downstairs. They came only last year, so they've been staying there for about 1 year plus. And then you have Botany that's coming up soon next year. Hopefully, I think within next year they should be the TOP or early 2027. Yeah, so for Narra itself, which is right here, the estimated TOP is about 2030, which is just nice the golden period that we talk about from the BTO upgraders. And then you have these green ticks are all the empty lands right now that are zoned for developments. So you just count the residential ones with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually right beside here there's 2 more. So it's 8, 9, and then with the education side we have 10 new developments coming up. So I think being the first harmonized unit right here definitely gives you the advantage.
Definitely, a lot of room for growth. Because we all know you don't want to be the last one, but as you are there and new plots being released in time to come, it only adds to the elevation of your price.
I think one good example is Dairy Farm Residences. So Dairy Farm Residences has been the first unit that has been launched in the area. So as we know previously, right, when it was being launched in the market, right, the demand wasn't so acceptable to the area itself. So in terms of the results, sales results there, right, the initial sales result wasn't performing that well. And fast forward to today, right, people who bought in the earlier phases, they actually bought in about 1,500 to 1,600 per square foot. But we fast forward to today, 4 or 5 years down the road, right, now the units are actually starting about 1,800, 1,900.
Okay, to enter into the exit price, so meaning to say, simply said, today you're buying a new launch at a resale price,
Yeah, lor.
right? 对吗？哦
So,
Yeah. So actually, you guys are relatively a young family lah, just 1 year old. What is important? What do you look for when you look into moving into a place? You know, in terms of your lifestyle needs. Probably, I know you go gym every morning, right? And then what else?
supermarket,
Yeah, supermarket.
schools.
Mm. Today, when we look at dairy farm, we are already going into a place where the amenities, things like haircut, barber shop, not barber shop, hair salon, BFD is there. Actually, what people is expecting is when you move in, it's really a town that's developed. Probably not in the last phase, but still in the early phase. So more will come into this place, right? Isn't this one of the leading factors that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
And then you can see a few plots of land like those zone as E, right? The HE zone as education sites. So right now it's actually empty, but in terms of because it's part of the master plan, so definitely there'll be new schools coming up, which will actually help with young parents there.
Which also I think is another good indicator of what the government is planning for this area. Definitely is for families, for local citizens.
Or PRs also.
PRs, yes. Okay, so let's zoom right into the project to see what kind of layouts they provide and how is it like comparing to other projects out there, and is it really better? Yeah. So their smallest unit is actually 1+ study. That's the smallest that they have. And a lot of people are concerned about should we still buy those small units today, like 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms.
2 bedroom 不是 so hard to sell commonly that's what we hear a lot of lack of confidence in small units. Right.
But the funny thing is always the first thing that's sold out are 2 bedrooms.
right. Yeah.
So this actually just came out from the news. The household size in Singapore is actually reducing. There's increasing number of one pet household staying in Singapore. I think that's very common, especially in our age group. Yeah, we see some friends that are single, they want to move out because their earning income is quite high. They want to move out from the traditional family, they want to move closer to town, closer to their workplace, and participate and enjoy the life of how their peers that are married feels like. Yeah, be on their own.
Emancipation.
Yes.
I mean, more people are getting, embracing singlehood. But the thing is, they don't want to stay with their parents. So over time, as they become more financially stable and has ability to buy, they want to buy and move out and have a life of their own.
So for my view, if you want to buy a small unit, nothing is wrong, but the longevity of the unit and the layout must be good. Yeah, so this will help with the flexibility of your change in lifestyle habits, in terms of family size in future, whatever. You won't be in a place where you are forced to sell. Yeah. So for example, this 1+ study, you have a very nice study space right here that can be easily enclosable. So you can use it as study, a potential guest room, or even storeroom. Yeah, storage is always an issue in Singapore. Okay, next we have the 2 bedrooms. So let's compare a pre-harmonized bedroom layout versus the harmonized one that we have at Narra. So these two are about the same size. This is 6, 7, 8, and then at Narra we have this 6, 8, 9 square feet sizing.
For storeroom.
Correct. So if you look at the pre-harmonized one, the aircon ledge actually took up 3 square meters. But for here, what do you have instead? You have actually a bomb shelter, so you can use it for a storeroom.
So the space in the aircon ledge goes into the
Usable space.
usable space.
Correct.
Yeah,
It's a
important,
usable and cool space in the house.
Mm.
So this is actually the big difference. Yeah, and then kitchen more or less the same, but this one you have a slightly more squarish kitchen where you get a left and right countertop. Okay, I would say both bedrooms same layout, similar dumbbell layout. You have a very efficient space. But a common bedroom here actually you have 1 more square meter. So that was quite a good difference, especially for a common bedroom.
Oh, so basically pre-harmonized is still viable, but what harmonized gives to this unit is a more viable living space.
More
Correct.
functional.
So imagine you move into this house as a 1-pax, but eventually let's say you get married or you get a partner, then you become a 2-pax. If you decide to have a pet or become a 3-pax, this house I would say is still more than enough. So this is what we call longevity of the unit, like how flexible it is in terms of your different changes in lifestyle or hobby. Or if ever another pandemic comes, at least there is a storeroom and there is a balcony. So it's not so boring lah. Both projects are harmonized. So let's compare the efficiency of the layout itself. So these two are about the same also. This one 109, this is 1152 square feet. But just look at the way the developer planned out the style of the house. So for this one, you have a long corridor here. Whereas for Narra is a direct entry. So definitely this one takes up a bit more space. So instead of this long entry and a slightly oversized bigger balcony, at Narra you have I would say quite a decent sized balcony of 6 square meters. And out of it, you actually get 1 more bonus study room here.
Oh.
And don't you think this study room looks quite big?
Yeah, very well.
Yeah.
5 square meter. 5 square meter means I can put in a queen size bed.
So you have a proper wall here, you have your window here. So I would say this can actually become like a compact 4-bedroom with them. If you get a bit creative with the wardrobe spacing and all. So I would say efficiency of layout is very important. Instead of just a standard 3-bedroom, you get a 3 plus a big one over here.
So this actually can potentially widen your pool of buyers next time in the future. Yeah.
And what I like is also there's still a bomb shelter at the back, together tucked in with the kitchen. So the space looks very enjoyable.
Correct.
And both rooms are 9 meters square.
Both common room, you still get your 9 square meters.
And then master
your
room
master
still
room
got-
is 19 square meters.
Still got walking wardrobe. What's
Correct.
that?
So 19 square meters for master bedroom actually is quite rare in the market, not easy to find. Next we have the 4 bedrooms.
Wow.
So same thing, let's compare pre-harmonized and then not harmonized. These two have the same square feet, 1378 and 1378. The balcony itself, okay, let's look at the aircon latch first. So aircon latch here is 8 square meters. That is quite big. Because for 4 bedrooms, definitely you have more aircon, so the aircon latch will
It's
really
almost
become
a
more.
room
Another
size
bedroom,
already.
correct.
Yeah, bedroom size already.
Correct. So you can see the main difference, I would say, are the bedroom sizes. This master bedroom is 40, whereas for Narra, you get 18 square meters bedroom. Even for a junior master, this is 10, this is 9. And then your living space, this is 41 square meters. This is 23 plus the corridor about 12.
27.
Correct.
25. Yeah.
Then the balcony also makes a big difference. So this balcony is not overly big. I would say this is 10 square meters, but this is 14. So a lot of additional difference will be from all this space down here that you get into become your livable space for Narra. What do you think about this floor plan?
I think this is okay. I mean, first of all, both they are kind of like have junior master being separated apart. But what really this place has given you is 6 meters square in the living area, and because of this, basically you can add another study room.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they give you an idea of being able to partition this out as a study room if needed. What I personally like about this is you realize all the rooms are facing all the same direction. Yeah.
This is very hard to find.
Correct. Usually there will be one bedroom that faces the back. Then that room usually is slightly darker because you'll be facing another neighbor's aircon latch as well. Yeah. So I think facing the same direction.
For the least favorable side.
But I think another good thing is you notice the aircon latch is actually flush. I mean, it's towards the kitchen instead of facing the units. Whereas the other layout, there's actually one bedroom that faces the aircon latch.
Yeah, so that bedroom will get the half window thing.
Correct. So for this one, right, all 4 bedrooms actually get full window height. Yeah, so a lot of natural light will come into the unit itself, which is a good thing.
But of course, if you don't see this layout, I would say this layout actually is really very good also. Yeah, very livable. 1378 for 4 bedroom, good size rooms and all. So you won't want to compare sometimes.
Once you see already, cannot unsee.
Correct. Once you see, you cannot unsee.
Yeah.
That is the thing.
And that's what we want to look for when we want to look into an environment. It's like mine is better than yours. So by the time buyer comes, do you think they want good? Buyers for 4-bedder generally, they'll be looking at probably the last home really. Right? The next upgrade will be landed. And most still probably will decide not to go landed. But if they do decide on this one, they're going to stay for a long time.
Correct.
So do you think they will compromise if the price is the same?
Yeah.
Pretty unlikely, right? So probably the same price but more usable space.
When you have such good layouts, it's very hard for people to press your price down in future, especially comparing to the neighboring slightly older condos where their layout is totally different and the efficiency is very different also.
I'm just so thankful that of the units that we got, they are harmonized.
Harmonized.
Really, if you are still staying in a pre-harmonized development, really, it's time to consider a change.
I think for ourselves, the way sometimes we talk to our clients, other than all these different new amenities and features, it's about playing like a KSF catch-up. And also to catch up to the newer times and the newer layouts. Because if you're staying at a 500 KSF pricing, you will never be able to accept a 3,000 KSF pricing if you don't do like gradual upgrades. Yeah, but you can't stay in the same because the market moves. You will always be moving, the price will just keep increasing. So sometimes you are playing a KSF catch-up, refreshing what you have, and then living in a better space. Okay, so after looking at these two, let's see what do you think the prices are that they bought at the pre-harmonized one.
Looking at about 2.6 to 2.9 right for the 4 bedrooms.
Yes, they actually bought at a high 2.6, which is close to 2.7 already, all the way up to 3 million. So imagine a pre-harmonized layout, they're actually selling at about 3 million. The price point that they'll be letting go at will be definitely above 3 million in the future.
So later you'll see, we'll compare this. Remember this price point, and we compare this to later we see Narra Residences. What will be their 4 bedroom ranges?
You'll be shocked. Of course, when it comes to new launch, unit selection is definitely an art, and then there's something that a lot of people have a headache about. And this is where your professional interest will come in place. So other than the facing, the view, the distance, there's so many other things that comes to play, even things like who are your neighbors, how many people are sharing the lift, all these things sometimes we need to consider it. Yeah. So even where's the refuse chute, sometimes you don't notice it or you don't even know that you should be looking out to it until you take a piece and then you realize, oh, I might not really prefer staying right opposite. And then who your neighbours are, all this all should be in your consideration when you're choosing a new unit.
Yeah. So all these will actually assist with you along the way as we build more and more different type of unit types, different type of show flats. Definitely you'll be overwhelmed with all the information out there. So our role here is actually helping you to summarize all the things that you've seen and make it more concise and clear for you guys to understand.
Perspectively on the same day, you will have a lot of difficult decisions to make. For example, we know that some blocks are unblocked view. So what's the disparity between the shape pricing? Right? If I have a unit, on an unblocked view, for example, if I were to buy a two plus study, my intent is to enter. But what if an unblocked view 2 plus study versus the price of a 3-bedder that is blocked view? How are you going to make the decision? Honestly, on the day itself, and you will be in the snake queue. So we have a strategy to help you prioritize over this, right? We call it the JETS strategy. And from there, we'll be able to bring you and help you see light on this. Yeah.
Mainly is to make you less stressed.
So let's come to the next segment, which is pricing. So I'm sure many of you, many agents have been calculating the price of the various bedroom types out there, the guide prices on the market. Of course, now we don't know what the actual price is yet because that will actually leave it to the launch date itself, right? But what we want to know is actually to understand whether all these prices are they the good entry price or reconsider this as being a too high price to enter. Because at the end of the day, right, what we want to do is actually to enter the right pricing, right? So we'll make some comparisons with the various launches that has happened before Narra Residences. Okay, but first up, I'll just show you what are the guide price that's being released on the market. So you look at the 2 bedrooms, we're actually ranging from 1.176 to estimated of 1.6 for the bigger units of the 721 square feet. Right? As for the 3-bedders, starting from 1.6 for the 818 3-bedroom compact, ranges to the 1172 square feet, the bigger 3-bedroom layout style, which is going for estimated of 2.4 million. Okay, as for the 4-bedroom, 1152 square feet, actually almost similar size to the 3-bedroom plus study as well. Yeah, 1152 square feet, we're actually ranging from 2.4 million to 2.8 million for the bigger 1378 square feet.
Well, this is going to give a lot of hope to many buyers who actually has been priced up because simply in the market today we see 2-bedder starting from 1.6, 3-bedder starting from 2 million, 4-bedder starting from 3.2. Today it's like we come back at the time like 2.1, 2.5 you can buy a 4-bedder. Like.
So we just take a look at the examples of the nearby developments now. So recent launches we have for the 2 bedrooms, right? We have one is the Mist, and then we are followed by Hill Heaven and the Botany itself. So we take a look at the Mist prices in recent times. The transaction prices have actually ranged from 1.48 to 1.939. These are actually done prices, meaning that they have been transacted. People are actually buying at these prices really. So in a way to say that people actually are accepting this kind of prices in the market. For a location over there, 2-bedroom, close to 2 million, it's almost similar to a 3-bedroom pricing. As for Hill Heaven, it ranges from 1.3 to 1.8. And Botany itself also 1.35 to 1.7.
Mainly these units actually most of them has already been sold already in the market today. So it's like now I give you a key into a box that can bring you back in time to 2022, 2023 to buy or probably 2024 to buy at the price at that point of time. But this time around with an additional benefit, better layout.
So compare this to the average, the guide price of Narra Residences starting from 1.1 to the highest price point that we estimate is like 1.6. It's even lower than what the highest price of the surrounding development is paying at. Coupled with that, we're actually buying a harmonized project. We need to say your layout potentially is much better than your competitors out there. So in a way, this will kind of give you a competitive advantage next time if you want to sell it into the resale market.
Awesome.
So next we look at the 3 bedrooms. Okay, for Mist itself, we are ranging from 1.8 to 2.4. Okay, and then Hill Heaven, same, also about 1.8 to 2.5 million.
That's right.
Okay, Botany is also 1.8 to 2.3 million.
I think 3-bedroom will have the biggest impact in terms of pricing.
Yes.
Why?
Most people are looking for 3-bedroom minimally, I would say, especially for families. And being priced out of like 2.5, 2.6 to get a resale or slightly newer 3-bedroom units out there is difficult. It's not easy for everybody to do that.
That being said, do you also feel that with the pricing getting higher, if it's a young family starting out, haven't got a BTO yet, but want to go into condo straight, do you think the 2 plus study will be a right fit for them?
If the pricing makes sense, yes, definitely.
Okay, so the 3-bedder does have its interesting point.
So especially so if let's say we're able to secure a unit at lower than what the surrounding development is actually buying at, it will kind of give you the pricing advantage as well, right? So it's not so much about the location MRT factor anymore, but it's more of your entry price at this point in time. And together with what Jason mentioned at the start, the leading factors, which is the potential HDB upgraders, the Tengah redevelopment at the area, and the commercial estates that are coming up within District 23 itself. For the 4 bedrooms, the MIS itself actually transacting at 2.7 to 3.1 million. Alright, Hill Heaven 2.4 to 3 million, and Botany 2.4 to 2.8 million. Right, but the range is actually higher than what the guide price of Narra Residences is.
I think
giving
this
us.
I think what I get from this is like definitely this area, District 23, the 4 bedrooms are going to be above 3 million in like just 2 to 3 years time.
Yes,
Yeah.
because all these are the entry prices that the buyers actually bought at, and a lot of buyers in the market now, right, is actually mind of making profit in time to come. So can you imagine 3 to 4 years down the road when actually ready to sell on the market, right? What would be their potential asking price, right? The asking price will probably be, for instance, the maybe the MIS itself, they're actually buying averagely 2.9 million. In future, probably they probably want to sell at 3.2 to 3.3, that kind of range, right? Then if you compare this to your Narra Residences entry price, you're buying at 2.4 to 2.6, 2.7, right? 2.8 also, right? So next time if you can actually sell at the entry price of the MIS, right, you can also make a profit as well.
Yeah, these are the safety net that has really been created.
Yes,
Right.
key thing what we want to look at is actually the safety net.
Correct.
So we move on, right? So a lot of people also, there's a lot of questions on their mind out there. Should I consider buying a new sale market, or should I consider resale market? Especially in today's market, right? We hear a lot of new sale, right? The previous set actually much higher than what we've seen in the past 4 to 5 years ago, right? Yeah. So a key concern, we understand, and this is actually a key concern from of a lot of our clients as well. Yeah. So basically, we actually pull out this chart to show you that. What are the potential opportunities out there on the market? So this chart is actually showing the District 23 new sale versus the resale market. We take 3 bedroom as an example. Okay, the blue chart here is actually the new sale price trend versus the resale price trend over here. So you notice, right, over the past 3 years, right, for the new sale, right, the price point that the price growth, right, is actually much lower than the resale market.
So essentially what you are trying to just say is that you have 2 options now. First of all, between resale and new launch, one, it is selling at a never seen before price. Because it's been picking up,
Yes.
and then the other one, the market has gone sideways, so we haven't really seen much growth in the location. So when the gap between these two, the new launch and the resale one, come closer to each other, which one would take off?
Definitely the new one.
Definitely a new.
Yeah.
Because the element of new, most people will actually prefer new things. Yeah, which actually brings you a good chance to enter as well, because you notice that resale prices has climbed relatively higher as compared to the new sale market, which also shows that potentially a good entry price into the new sale market at this point in time.
One thing I noticed, this just now we discussed, most of these are MOP upgraders, right? So 5 years ago they got a brand new, the key to a brand new house where they put in their brand new renovation and they stay in such a nice house for the next for that period. Now coming to the point where they want to upgrade, and between a unit that's older, they need to go in, wang everything and renovate, and between one that's brand new with brand new facilities, clubhouse, swimming pool, honestly, which would they choose? I mean, which one would they be choosing for? So in a way, that's why I say BTO is the engine that has churned out so many, new condos up. Why? Because in Singapore, we're just pampered, right? Everyone wonder why cars are expensive, but people still cannot buy resale one, right? Because we are just being built with, very fortunately, the kind of ability to enjoy better.
That's the reason why for us we do believe in the new launch market, because of the TOP effect, where once the TOPs, right, the developments, the facilities are all brand new. You can't compare to the surrounding resale estate, because the surrounding resale estates, the things are getting older, and definitely it will look like you need maintenance. So next we move on, right? We also definitely need to compare for the resale market, because recently in District 23 itself, right, there's also a lot of ECs, new ECs, right? For instance, like Open Grand, what are other some EC launches?
Octo Place lah. I heard someone is selling one EC, at 1.5 plus 3 million.
1.5 plus or 3 bedroom.
Right. So bottom line is, today we have a product. Value, is what we want to get. Price is what we pay, value is what we want to get. So we look at this condo itself without comparing the other values stack on each one. Number one, this location actually is a very desirable location with good living environment and amenities. Value number two, transformation in the location. Jobs, cultural space, the what's going to happen at Tengah, right? Number three, BTO. Supply of BTO. Number four, entry price. Number five, good layouts. Right, so we look at all these factors, right? Okay, for the same amount, but you get 5 other factors. So when you buy today, it is very important to consider, if not Narra, right, if not District 23, which other location can give you this kind of value benefit, right, for the same region. So, of course, choosing a development, there's still specific that we're going to look into, which, we also want to come up with some interesting content about what are the best options, 5 beders in the location, 2 beders in the location. So we probably do that more in the next video. More importantly, help us to subscribe if you like our content. Like us, DM us, tell us what you want to know. You can have an agent serving you, you can talk to your agent, we are not worried. What we want is, we just want to deliver value. If we can create a content to help you, we want to do so. We just want to be able to, bring some benefit through our knowledge that we have learned from the field. Right, so, that's it for today. Thank you, and we'll get
Bye-bye.